Inani-choke.
Inani-suffocate.
Lilian and
The main man, DMW.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Mental Wealth. Of course, you're with me here, Lilian and of course I am with
the main man, DMW, Derrick Masabawere. Welcome to this episode. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. I tell you.
I feel like some of our listeners wanakujaga kusikiza hii podcast ndio sikie tu Derrick na DMW.
I mean,
the man behind everything. Sijui what?
Yes.
Highlights. Mimi tu nawapea jina yangu. I think I will also look for an interesting name to give you guys.
Yeah.
So that I'm not left to be the boring one.
I know.
In this
But
podcast.
I'm the only DMW from south of Sahara to south of Limpopo.
You don't even know
to
where you
north of
come
Sahara.
from. Oi. Anyway, guys, we are happy that you're here. We are hoping that you are doing well. If you're in Nairobi, it's the month of June and it's about to get cold. So we're hoping that you are ready for that. Derrick.
Yes.
What are we talking? What are
Talking
we
about
discussing?
cold, talking about June and coldness. We are here to talk about love bombing. This is the month people make mistakes. I don't know why people always mistake weather and relationship. Like, this is when people want to make visits, you know. So
yeah, but it's not about love. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know.
there's a way we have
There's
normalized
a term called the warm body. People are just looking for warm bodies.
warm bodies.
Yes.
Oh,
so
that's a new term.
So that's what people are doing right now. So
Anyway, we are here to discuss about love bombing. Like the word love bombing. It's a bomb. It's a love that comes like a bomb.
inakuja na ubaya.
Inakuja na ubaya.
It's like a love that can be a bit too much.
Yeah.
Too demanding.
Too demanding.
Too confusing.
Too confusing.
Too many things.
Too real to be true.
It's a love that can be suffocating. Remember what that girl was saying? Inani-choke.
Inani-suffocate.
It can be that situation, but to explain it in English is an attempt to influence a person by demonstration of attention and affection in excessive measure.
Yeah.
So for example, you just met somebody and all of a sudden you are object of his or her attention, and they're giving you too much attention that is not explained.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys have been known each other over time, it's okay when you receive certain gifts from people.
So there's
But
a particular period of
if I
time
meet you
before
today,
you. Yeah.
and then I already have that iPhone 13 Pro Max that have been. It's that kind of a situation. And also, speaking about this, I must say I feel triggered because I feel like I have been in this situation.
Unasema somebody has, hey, wow.
I am speaking from experience.
Yeah.
I have been in a situation like this recently, and I was just looking at what are the characteristics of the love bombing, and I was just ticking the boxes. I'm like, oh, this is good. But you see, I was like, this is too much. This is a lot. Like, I was able to pick up, but you don't expect everyone will be able to know that this is love bombing. This is somebody who. This is not something that is good, you know, because a lot of people are walking around with insecurities, and if you meet somebody that is always texting you, giving you their attention, calling you 72 times in a day, sending you gifts every single day, then sometimes you feel like, this person really loves me, you know, because you've not experienced love like that.
Yeah.
So you feel like this person loves me, but unapata, this person actually doesn't love you. The end goal of love bombing is actually they are manipulating you because there's something they want in return. And look, talking of love bombing, I think I remember, I'm about to stop talking, but just let me say this last thing. Tinder swindler. I feel like that is the classic example of love bombing.
Yeah.
If you have seen it, then you can, and I wouldn't say log out, but this is a refresher. But if you've seen Tinder swindler and how that guy behaves with these women in the first month or so, that is a classic situation of love bombing.
I am sure anyone who has interacted with the Risambu guys or the Ogas from Kilimani must have had an experience of love bombing. You have definitely had a share of your own.
Yeah, and they're just like, baby, which iPhone 13 do you want?
Wow.
In which color do you want your iPhone 13?
Wow. So love bombing, of course, as you've said, is characterized with the excessive things that are coming in excess, and then things happen so fast, extremely fast. People expecting things to happen like it's 2 days into the relationship, but you feel like you guys have been dating for 3 years.
Yeah, it's telling you to meet, the person is telling you to meet his or her parents.
Yeah.
It's day 2 of the relationship.
They've already introduced you to the most important persons in their life.
Yes.
Gifts coming from left, right, and center. I know Nairobi, we all want to be happy. We all want desire to, all this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing as beautiful as finding somebody who is ready to finance your life, a lifestyle that you have always desired or you have always tried to portray on social media. But it comes with a cost, or it comes with a price that we are here to discuss about. We are not here to discourage you from doing anything, but we are here to remind you there are limits. And maybe before we get deeper into love bombing, it is important our listeners understand, first of all, love. We can be discussing about love bombing,
and they don't know what love is.
Yeah, because somebody
tell them
to you. So love first of all means you have to say goodbye to expectations. By expectations, you don't put a string attached to your partner like it is a do or die. Expectations, it can happen, but it is not completely a must. Then love doesn't play the victim. One person trying to make the other person to look like the bad person, Love sets free. You don't spy somebody all the time. If you surely love somebody, you will not even be after what they're doing.
Hey Manzami, I have so many friends of my girlfriends. Their phones are tapped by them. Even yesterday we were having a discussion. There's another friend of ours, actually her boyfriend has tapped her phone.
Love is free. If somebody is tapping your phone, these people are insecure. They are insecure, and it has little room for jealousy. I mean, if you love someone, you see them with friends.
Derrick.
You know this?
Derrick.
Yes.
Love doesn't have jealousy. How would you know if you would love somebody if you never feel jealous?
This kind of jealousy, and I'm saying it has little room for jealousy. Jealousy.
I feel like it's
if you are excessively jealous over your partner engaging in other people, then that is a sign that something is not okay with you. Like there's something that is triggering you. It could be they have done something in the past and it's a point of concern to you, yes, but in most occasions, if that is typically your nature, then it's not a good gesture. It's not a good gesture at all. So
it's okay to be jealous, just don't be now obsessed.
Don't be obsessed.
Okay.
That's a sign that things are not okay. And love is not needing, but wanting. Your partner should not at any given time say that they cannot breathe oxygen without you.
What if they can't do?
If that person cannot do without you, then you need to run for your life. If somebody says they can die for you, I mean, my brother, my sister, what are you doing that will make me die for you?
Yeah. I will take a bullet for you. Did you see that meme for? I will take a bullet for you. Yes, I will. But what are you doing that is making people want to kill you?
Yeah. So if you're having a partner or in a relationship that you have to be there, then things are not okay. I mean, even our parents love us, but they understand when you're doing other things, they will let us, go, and they will always be hopeful things will be okay. They'll be hopeful, but in the event things don't turn out to be as they wish, they will always intervene. So love is not needy, because first you love yourself before you allow somebody else. It means you have a space for yourself to do your personal things before you allow another human being to come into your space. So basically that is what I understand, and there's a long list of what love is. Love is, when you get into the deeper meanings from the Bible, love is patient, love is kind, like, all those. I'm not getting into that.
It's not self-seeking.
Yeah, I'm not getting into those. So I'm basically highlighting a few that we can relate with.
Okay.
So yeah.
And before we even talked about love, we had sort of started mentioning like what will tell you some of the telltale signs that you are in a love bombing situation, like how you know. Of course, we talked about excessive gifts. We talked about Did we talk about communication 24/7?
Yes. This person, I mean, it's like hata watu wa Safaricom, they don't respond this fast. Sometimes they keep you online. These guys expect at any time they call you, they send you a message. expect you to respond, you know. And there's this experience. They'll text you if you receive 4 messages from them, you have to respond to 4 messages. You know, there's some of us who you text us 10 messages and will respond to 1, or will respond with the 1 information, or rather information that has captured every other thing. Anyway, we have already started digging deeper into the science,
or how you might feel.
Especially what they do. So, as we said earlier, when we discussed, the lymphoma will demand your attention, and time may allot you from your family and friends. It's important. I don't know, maybe if you can relate. My research is different. Lymphomas are very likely to start disconnecting you from your support system. Very likely. They will not do it directly, but there's a way they will corner you to feel like the time, the attention belongs to them.
Yeah, I get it. Because you see, when they come into your life, they automatically make you feel like your priority. And now they start to make you feel like they also should be priority in your life.
Yeah.
And in that, now you might feel the need to maybe, not automatically or indirectly, you start to disconnect with people that maybe you are connected to, whether it's friends or family, because of this one person that has showed you quote unquote that you're priority in their lives. So you have to make them priority in your life as well.
Yeah, and they will not, as I said, they will not make you feel directly it is bad to associate with your friends, but there are sentiments they'll make after you have spent time with your friends that will tell, comments like, you could have spent time with me, I was lonely, I need your presence here, most of the time I cannot do things if you're not here, So the next minute you think about visiting your friend, the next minute you think about visiting your parents, you consider what will make them feel.
And to just share an example from my experience, I hope that person will listen to this one. Because that experience is very recent. And to share my experience, this person used to tell me, and they would call me and then tell me, "Kwani unimiss? Like, you've not missed me?" I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I haven't, So they make you feel like, you have to, there's a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
Kwani haujanimiss. Alafu, they also expect you to treat them with you give them special treatment. So for me, my phone is always on Do Not Disturb by 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So this person wanted me to exempt them from my Do Not Disturb list.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, as whom? So you see, like, they want to cross your boundaries. Another thing is that they will really like to stretch your boundary, and they won't be aggressive about it. They will come from a point of view, I love you, I want to talk to you, now who do you want me to talk to? Why are you doing that? Am I not important enough in your life?
Yeah.
And this is somebody you just met. Somebody's telling you that in under 1 week of meeting them. Yeah.
That is what happens. We have also talked about gifts.
Yeah, gifts. Where?
You received the iPhone 13. I know you're an iPhone person.
I feel like they was good. I didn't receive no gifts, Derrick. But there are some other ones that I really relate to. Like, they wanted me to meet their parents, their brothers.
Within a week.
Talk to my mom. They wanted me to talk to their mom. I was like,
they're buying your trust. Yeah. The moment somebody has given you everything within a very short period of time, you feel like this is the deal. This is the deal.
Yeah.
And there's something interesting I got through giftings. They will remind you most of the time of how much they bought the gifts. Intentionally, there's a way they want you to feel.
To try and explain the fact, to show how much they love you.
Yes.
Okay.
To show you that
like
you are an investment. You need to be here.
Here is a Nike that I bought for 120,000.
Yes.
Okay.
It is not like here is a Nike. Just to come with 120,000 Kenya shillings.
Not just here is a Nike.
So
here, like people have started wearing Nike. Have you seen
Nike is eco. There's Adidas,
Balenciaga.
We have all sort of shoes. I mean, Kenya and counterfeit exist in one statement. These love bombers will always compliment you in most occasions. I mean,
and I saw that one and I thought, man, that is really crazy. Because you see, compliments are things that we expect.
Yeah.
So you would never think of a compliment as something that somebody would be baiting you with. That is so interesting.
Yeah, you've met a spoken word artist. These are the real deal. These are spoken word artists. Their gender is love. And you are hey, you know, these are people, hey, they have words, they have lyrics. They can make you feel like heaven is coming on earth. You'll feel like, I mean, you are another angel here on earth. They will show you any word you've ever had, and you know they will always come with that. So yeah, so that is another thing you need to look at. They most of the times love public display of affection, you know, and it is at their own peril, you know. You have little say or over that, you know.
Yeah, and also I think it's important to also mention that all these characteristics we're giving, they're also specific to certain, to the way people are with their personalities. Because a love bomber might be somebody who doesn't like PDA, so they will love bomb you in another way.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that all these are blanket for everybody.
Yeah, it is important for listeners to know. Somebody who's love bombing you may not have all these traits we are mentioning.
It might present differently, or even with something that we haven't seen. But the key thing that you need to know is if you're sensing that this person is trying to influence you or control you and demand commitment. I think those are the general ones. Somebody who's demanding commitment and showing and doing things for you a little too soon. Like we can't be in day 2 and I'm already, you know, like they're just those things. That relationship or relations progress, they have a progression. So if you notice that yours is moving a little fast, then maybe you need to ask, what is the agenda? Why are we in a hurry? And
they give you some saying here, little time to scrutinize things. You know, I know it's good for your boyfriend to tell you, for example, maybe next week you're going to Mombasa, next week you're going to Dubai, you know, we're going, but they don't give you room to think over. You know, you have to jump the next plane, you know, with that guy, with that lady, because it happens. It is not about guys. So also ladies love bomb. It can be anybody.
And also, I've just remembered when you talk about little time to scrutinize things, I'm just going to give you this example that is recent of mine. Is somebody tells you they meet you very soon, and they're already telling you they love you, but me in my head I'm like, how do you know I am the love of your life? You don't even know me, you've just met me. You don't know what I can do to you. You don't know if I'm a good person, you don't know if I'm a bad person, you don't know what I'm capable of. But you're there telling me you want to, you are going with your instincts or what you're feeling. You can risk it because of what you're feeling. That is apana. So it's just things that look like.
Are you trying to say it is important for people to take time before they confess their love?
You can confess.
There's nothing like love at first sight. You know, you watch soaps, Nicolas and Aymar, they meet, they bump into each other, and then like, she's the one.
You see, you can confess. I'm not sure if I believe in love at first sight. But you can meet someone, and yes, maybe you feel like that towards them, and you're not trying to love bomb you. But somebody who truly loves you will also understand that just because you've met me and you that's how you feel, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how I feel, and you need to give me time maybe to get there if we will. But you see, somebody who love bombs you doesn't give you that space. They want you to move with their pace. They love you, they want you to move with them. They want you to move in day 2. We're here in day 2. Our 26. You want me to move in. So there's not that understanding. There's not that room for as much as yes, you might love at first sight or whatever. You also have to understand that probably you might be the one feeling like that, and that's not necessarily how I feel, and you have to respect that.
Another thing is these people are DCIs. In most instances, you have to report the things you do. They want to know every move, and as you had mentioned earlier, sometimes they can go the extent of checking everything about you on social media, the kind of friends who follow you, the people who comment on your status or they comment on your post, and whether they have deeper plans with you other than just saying you look beautiful, you look handsome. They want to find out every other detail about you.
Yeah, because they are a normal manipulator, and a manipulator always has information, because this information they want they need something to work with.
Yeah.
So the more information they have about you, the easier it is for them to manipulate you. So they're just like any other manipulator. So definitely, I feel like the strongest trait of a manipulator is trying to find out a lot about you so that they can know how best to get what they want from you.
Interesting. Any other thing that they do from their end?
I feel like we can never exhaust this.
Yeah.
But I want us to move on and discuss, where does this come from? Why would somebody love bomb?
Yeah, why will Derrick decide to love bomb an innocent woman?
Why would I was told women are not innocent.
Okay.
This is a conversation for another episode.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Wait for that one when you listen to this. Derrick, so tell us, what makes somebody, where does it come from? Because you see, behavior just doesn't appear. You just don't wake up and decide, I am going to love bomb every single person.
Well, quite often, at least from my research and people I've interacted with, love bombers are people who their past relationship has not worked. Relationship, that means from their family. Either they were brought up by a narcissistic parent or caregiver in their home, and through that upbringing, their parents did the same thing to them, and therefore they relate to that as pure love. There are those who were neglected from childhood. Neglection, it means they were not shown love, care, and anytime somebody tried to do that, they lost them. Either they disconnected or they lost them through death. And therefore, to them, any person who they'll find in their life, they'll try to, quote unquote, give all they can so that they can control and have hold of them. Yeah, so I don't know from your end.
Yeah, I think a love bomb, somebody who loves bombs, is coming from either an abusive relationship or a toxic upbringing, and the end goal of somebody who wants to love bomb you is control.
Yeah.
And this kind of control is also coming from a point of insecurity. Probably, maybe they fear losing you or something like that. So they want to make sure they have control over you for whatever reason. They want to be able to feel like I'm in control. It's like they're buying your love.
Yeah.
So definitely this is coming from a point of a lot of insecurity that this person would need to work on. But yeah, basically it just comes from an upbringing that is not healthy, or somebody who has been in several abusive relationships.
Yeah.
And maybe now they feel like they need to take charge.
Yeah, they need to take charge.
And control the narrative.
Yeah.
Control how things happen.
And there are many who do it subconsciously, To them that means love. It is also important to note there are people who have studied human beings, and they know the easiest way to control another human being, is through love bombing.
True.
There are those who have turned that into their way of livelihood. If you watch the documentary Tinder Swindler, and there are so many cases here in Nairobi where women, men have been swindled, by quote unquote their lovers, because the first thing is they were showered with gifts and everything.
So let me ask, according to what we see, because you see in a Tinder Swindler case, this person doesn't want to end with these people for the long term.
Yeah.
They're love bombing them for economic reasons, so that they can take their money or their whatever. So is it the case for every love bombing situation, or others are just love bombing you because they are lonely and they want you to?
This is my my interaction, this is my knowledge, at least for the interaction and the cases there are a few cases I've managed to handle relating to love bombing. There are those who will do it because they know they want you for a short period, and therefore there is something they want to get from you, you know.
So it can be maybe they love bomb you for sexual reasons, for economic reasons, for whatever reasons.
But
it's not long term.
For power.
For power.
We need to understand love bombing goes beyond intimate relationship. There are people who experience love bombing in workspaces. Their bosses, their seniors, in a way expose them to opportunities they never get in life, and do this, do that, do it. You know, there are those who have this plan for as long as they are willing to gain from you. You know, the interesting thing.
Do anything.
Yes, the interesting thing about these people who do love bombing is they miss something. They lack something within them that they have not faced, or they fear facing, you know, their fears and their insecurities. So they will have you for as long as you're willing to be an object in their life. And at least the cases I've handled, most of the time, those who love bomb you, they will always be the ones to benefit. There's something you're going to bring back to the table.
Somebody is love bombing, you just know this situation is about them. It's not about you.
Yes.
They're the ones who have the cards. They're the ones who know how they want this to end. And if you play into that, they're the ones who are going to benefit in the end. And also in my experience, I realized later on, if somebody is love bombing you, a love bomber, this is my experience. I don't know if it's true for everybody. Maybe our listeners can tell us if they have any experiences in this. Is this person, you're not the only one who's been love bombed.
Yeah,
it's you're there.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, you're like a good 5 people.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
you're not the only one who's been love bombed.
Somebody will be like, why should I be worried? Another relating to the same. I know instances where somebody was love bombed, or people are love bombed. Let me say one example. In the long run, you know, this lady realizes that maybe this guy doesn't have money, so I need to finance him, I need to give him this, I need to give him that, because, you know, for my family we can afford 1, 2, 3 kids.
And he's also done ABCD for me. Look, he got me this gift. Look, he's always giving it because of that attention. When he was given that attention, that suffocates you. He's giving me attention, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing that. So you almost feel like this is a good person because they've already done so much for you in a short while.
So
it doesn't feel like a big deal to help them out.
It is not a big deal. You'll feel like, I'm more of, in Kiswahili tunasema unarudisha mkono, you're returning.
Not direct translation.
You're returning
the favor.
You're returning the favor. So this is what happens. So in the long run, you'll be the one. If it is to finance, you'll finance them. If it's to pay what, you'll pay for it most of the time. If it's to ensure that their deal goes through, that is what you'll do. We know what happens with some of these Nigerian guys. You know, they will use your accounts to ensure they, you know, transfer money to do this so that, you know, their deals will go through. And these are dirty money. You know.
And also, Derrick, as we talk about the Nigerian guys, please understand that we don't mean all Nigerian guys.
Yes, not
don't
all.
Come for us.
Yeah.
But it's also a characteristics that we have noticed with some of them. So some of them, not all of them, don't come at us.
Yeah.
Any
other thing maybe you're not highlighted?
I think we have discussed, like, why would somebody do that? And we have seen it's for control. And they have an end goal. That's what I think our listeners really need to drill into their heads, is this person knows what they're getting in the end. So you shouldn't play into their cards. I wanted to ask, if, for example, I am love bombed, what does it do to me?
What does it do to you? There are things we have already mentioned. One, you will not have your personal space. There'll be nothing. Of
course, you're talking to this one, the person 24/7.
If somebody is talking to you, 24/7, you don't have your own space. You know what? You know, so you don't have space to think, to freely be you, and, you know, to do your own stuff as a person. You lose your circle, the people who are your support system. And we have talked time without number that it is important for any human being to have a support system be it your brother, be it your family,
outside of your
romantic relationship. Things get crazy in life, not in that relationship. There are things you just need somebody to talk to, you know?
Yeah, your romantic partner can't be a one-stop shop for everything. That is overwhelming.
Exactly. And there are times when they are the problem, you know? How do you talk to the problem? You need help. You need people who will listen to your case, you know? So these people will deprive or completely kill your support system so that they can have you. And they will do anything they would, you know? They will discourage you from telling you, you know, your friend, they behave this way, they do this. I am sure they don't feel happy because you're progressing. Because, you know, these people are pampering you with so much money. For those who have money, at least, they pump you with so much money. And, you know, it's easier for me to tell you, your friend is not happy because she cannot afford iPhone 13, you know?
Yeah.
So they're just trying to tell you so that we can part ways, but they don't want to see you go to places. We are going to Dubai next week. You know, we'll be at the coast and all these. So you will start thinking from their point of view, like, I think this guy is making sense, you know. I need to stop hanging around 1, 2, 3 people, you know. And disrespect your boundary. You will walk on an eggshell. Walking on an eggshell means you have to be cautious and careful with what you say to them and how you handle them, you know. If you know these people, they are a god. To you, they are more of a god. If somebody is bringing you heaven on earth, you need to be very careful with how you handle them, what you tell them. Otherwise, they'll get angry. They'll be mad. They'll stop giving you gifts. Something we didn't highlight is anytime you say no, whenever they want you or they want to have your attention, they normally pull something deliberately. And these are things you really need. They know they'll promise you to buy this.
Rent, my friend, leave alone even.
Yeah, they don't pay rent.
It's day 6.
Yeah.
The landlord is about to kick you out.
You're telling this guy, I mean, I have a class. I have a family meeting. I need to meet my friends, you know. But they don't want to hear any of that, you know. So this can be another trouble.
So let me mention. I feel like a lot of things you mentioned there is behavior exhibited by people who are narcissistic, and you have to understand these people will always are the kind of people who will love bomb you. So that's why their characteristics and these characteristics of a love bomber are kind of the same. Yeah, I think I needed to bring that up.
Yeah, so maybe when I know there are listeners and they're like, I have probably experienced this with my intimate partner, with my parent, with my boss. Does that mean that should be the end of that relationship? Or there is something that can be worked over and things can be made?
For me, a love bombing situation, you need to get out. There's no relationship there. Because when you realize this person is love bombing you and they know you have realized, all of a sudden they tend to just disappear. They cut everything off.
Yeah.
And then you start to ask yourself, where was the love?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's no love, there's no relationship. You are just a means to an end for somebody, and that's why you need to get out.
Yeah.
There's that thing that can be salvaged in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think you should just say goodbye.
Okay. I don't know whether I will buy completely the whole idea. Of course, it is important, but I'm picking from a point of somebody who is being love bombed at workspace. This might.
Who is love bombing them?
Most of the time, being love bombed at workspaces comes from people above you because they have resources, they have power and everything to do, you know, from workspace. So I feel like sometimes, though it is a long process, well, the best option is call it quits. Yeah,
that's one option. If you can, of course we know situations are different, but if you can, leave the situation. But again, I realize there's some people who love bomb you, I think subconsciously, because this thing is coming from an insecure point.
Yes.
And they've really found somebody that they think they love, and they don't want to let you go.
Yeah.
So they feel like they need to put a lot of effort to ensure that you stay.
Yes.
You
and then they
understand?
don't have a support system from their end.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if it's a completely toxic relationship that somebody might want to extort you, maybe they want to ask you for money because I was asked for money, by the way. They want to ask for money from you.
Yeah.
Or something like that, then you should leave. But if you see that this person, maybe you feel the same for them, you feel like this is somebody you can connect with, then maybe you can have that conversation with them and try to help them out.
Yeah.
If you want, if you can, you don't have to do it, by the way.
Yeah.
If you want and if you can. If it's a job situation, then there you really need to exercise the boundaries that you have. But first of all, for you to ensure that, first of all, you are less and less of a victim of love bombing, you have to ensure, first of all, you are secure within yourself.
Yeah.
Because a love bomber can really, it's easy for them to attract somebody who is insecure.
Yes.
So you have to ensure, first of all, you do your own internal work so that you don't end up being prey for somebody who wants to love bomb you. Because if you're secure within yourself, you can easily tell, this is not okay. This is too good to be true, and I don't want it.
Yeah.
But if you're coming from a point of insecurity, you're like, this is heaven. So you have to work on being a secure individual, work on your own weaknesses, traumas if you have them, and present a better self to the world so that you don't end up with things like this. But if it's in a workspace and this is your boss, you have to be clear, very clear about your boundaries. And this might have consequences, because if you don't get into what they want, maybe you will lose your job. So it's up to you to decide what is priority for you, because I can't tell you that. But you're the one who knows what will be priority for you, because I can't tell you to quit your job, because life can be difficult. But you have to assess the situation for yourself and decide what's the priority for you in that moment.
Yeah, I agree. And try to find other sources in the meantime, as you try to think over how to run from all this situation. If you can find time, even in a relationship, find other means of surviving, because most of the time these people finance you. Find other ways of paying your rent if they are paying your rent.
Don't allow. I feel like it's also a risk on your end to take rent from somebody you just met the other day. You don't know that person. It's a risk. It's a risk on your end, because you don't know how that will end up. So it might look like it's good, but it might end up costing you a lot even more. So it's okay for your partners to pay your bill, just partners you want you're sure of.
Lastly, I think in the few cases I've handled relating to this, there are partners who get violent. They've love bomber. When they realize you're slowly retrieving, they get violent and they will blame you. You're the one who is making me to do this. If you had cooperated, if you had followed what I told you, things could have been better, but you're pushing me to the wall, and all that. And slowly get violent, either verbally or physically violent, because they're manipulators by nature. Then they will slowly now go back to the circle. Will always, it's always be a circle. Then they'll start, showering you with 1, 2, 3 things. Then they will always, get back to what they want you to be like. So we need to be careful about these guys, and we need to watch out so that, we don't become victims of what we call love, because we desire expensive life. It's good to desire all this. But
it's not just about the money.
By
the way, it can be also very emotionally draining. It can be somebody else is giving you a lot of things emotionally. You understand? And also they will take away a lot of things from you emotionally. It's just not about material things. Anything else to add?
Nothing.
Okay guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Do you want to give any shout outs today?
Shout out. I'm giving shout out to all our listeners.
Oh, to all our listeners.
Do I have no? So far, I want to see that one person.
Only that one person you want to shout out.
But the amazing people who follow our podcast every now and then, they always, reach out, share their comments, their views, and what they want us to discuss. And you mean so much to us. Nyinyi ni watu wa maana sana.
Thank you so much, guys. Let us know if you loved this episode. Share it with somebody you think might be struggling with this situation. We hope that you enjoy this podcast. Asante sana. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.